What's up, brother? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. Thank you for joining on today. Just catching up. How you been?
All is well.
Good.
All is well here. All is well. Thank you.
I like the bottles, and we're gonna get into that later. I
Yeah.
had the rosé, last week. You saw the dish, and it's just great. And I also have the red blend here as well. So, anyways, let's go into it. Let's talk a little bit about Para Wine Company. How would you explain your style?
You got it. Hey, man. Before I get into the style, I definitely want to thank you again for having me on Comidazo. And I just want to dive into a quick wine joke or joke in general for you as well. What do you get when you gather two Mexicanos and an Argentino together?
What?
You get an interview with Armando Tam.
Okay, I like
So,
that.
so yeah, going into Parra Wine Co. More into detail. Um, you've seen already, or you see it on my dessert wine, the P logo. So yeah, just to talk about the two packages here. So on the P logo are my single vineyard wines, and I get the blessing from the grower to reference them.
Yeah.
So far they have been single varietal, but it's not going to stop me if any blends are involved down the road,
Yeah.
as long as they're from a single vineyard.
It's
Now,
like, it's just like it's like a chef. A chef
yeah,
he sticks to tradition, but if they don't have the ingredients that night in their pantry, they don't want to go to the store. They improvise, right?
yeah, exactly, yeah, exactly. And then my second label, El Toro El Matador, and I feel that this my quote in the back of the bottle reflects a lot of what's going on in the world right now. The back of the bottle says, "El Toro y el Matador decide to make wine, not war. We can all learn from them. Salud."
You know, I appreciate the meaning behind it because for our viewers and for me in general, the story is just as important as the winemaking and the taste. And so the Tempranillo, you got to send me a couple of those bottles because I'm a big Tempranillo fan. And what kind of varietal, what kind of wine is the Toro?
This one, this is the brand I'm looking to expand for distribution. This specific one is called Consulta.
Mm,
So in Spanish, that would be a consultation,
yep.
either with a therapist or a doctor. So the Latinos get it that this is the wine bottles that their terapia, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And
The,
and
the,
for everyday people, it's their therapy when they get home from work. Cooking
yeah,
is therapeutic and drinking wine is therapeutic, obviously in moderation, right?
yeah, exactly.
Okay. So
So that's the difference with the two brands as far as for the winemaking production side, what I'm working on. So in El Toro y El Matador, I have the Rosado. This is a Tempranillo Tinta Cow. Tinta Cow is a Portuguese varietal.
mm,
And then I'm releasing my very first Columbia Valley Bordeaux blend under
wow.
under the second label. And then also a Vino Blanco,
Mm.
a Pinot Gris under the Toro and the Matador, and anyways, and other goodies to come down the road. But
So
again,
yeah, you got to give me some of those. I love it.
yeah,
And any way we can support you, and any way I can incorporate it with my pairings, we got a lot of things to do. So, one of the many things I love about you is that we talk culture, we talk what's happening in society, but obviously we're always going into business. You and I go at it on text, how are we doing, what have you. Talk to our viewers because business has to be part of the narrative when it's on. We're speaking about Latinos in business, businesses of Latinos, and winemakers that happen to be Latino. So, what are some of the challenges that you are overcoming in small businesses? You launched your line, now you're going into a second one. What is the challenges that you're overcoming right now?
yeah, definitely the challenge happening right now is my second brand is growing, but the challenge that I face is connecting with some distributors in Oregon that have that are interested in picking up my product, They're just actually waiting for me to grow a little bit. There was one that had interest on my high-end wines, but it was just a matter of they were just trying to nickel and dime me
Yeah.
as far
Yeah.
as discount my reserve wines uh, too much. Where again, I'm being very direct and saying this is what I'm growing right now. So yeah, the growing pains right now are real as far as the production increase, where I sell directly in Oregon and I can ship to most of the states, and crossing my fingers, hoping to have a meeting soon with a distributor that covers Idaho and Washington. So that is my challenge right now as a small business owner, not just being a Latino business owner, but I definitely highlight being a Latino owner on my Instagram account under Parra Wine Co. Very first thing on the profile that states is Latino owned wine brand.
Oh no, 100%. And you know, you're overcoming these challenges by trial and error, or are you masterminding with other winemakers? Are they open to share? I come from the food industry, and it's not as easy to talk business with colleagues, although
Yeah,
it's starting that way now. You know, because I come from state and then go into food. In real estate, we're always masterminding with other people from out of state, because in our market, no one's going to help each other out. It's just the way it is, right? And so,
right.
how are you overcoming these challenges?
Well, the big challenge again of trying to connect with the distributor, how I overcame for 2021, I did not grow as rapidly as I wanted as I wanted to. I
Mhm.
had a chance to buy grapes. I was financially ready, but it's more of the matter when the product is out, which is the more important part for many businesses that are sitting on inventory. You have to move your product. It's not fun when you're, many small producers, it's not fun for them to be paying to have multiple vintages stored, which is not my case. All of my 2018s, all my 2019s are sold out. But in 2020, I definitely had the growth. And in 2021, it was more of a matter of just checking myself as a business
Yeah,
and what makes sense when the wines are released. And do I really want all that wine stored at once and to be paying for storage
yeah.
versus having the wine spread out where I bottle it at different seasons? That allows me to clear some inventory. Then more wine comes into the storage facility that I where I legally have to store my wine.
I'll
And
say this. I'll say
yeah,
this. You're one of the few that is focused on the business part equally as much as the creation, the service, and the taste.
yeah,
You know,
thank
look,
you.
you're talking moving it. You're leveraging social media. You are growing your brand. I mean, you're spending time growing business than running the business. So kudos to you on that. And I think that's something that a lot of people can take away, whether in food or wine, is that you have to build a brand. A brand is important. And in today's sales environment, the brand is probably more important than the actual product. Would you agree?
I completely agree. Talk about branding first of all. Logo design, collaboration with my brother and myself. But talk about perfecting the branding. Definitely a big shout out to my graphic designer. His name is John Larson.
Yeah.
Larson Images. He's based out of Portland. Again, talk about, for me, talking about my vision. There's actually, by the way, you'll see on the bottle, dessert wine, on the root, Armando, there's three ridges on the
Yes.
root, the three ridges at the bottom of the vine.
Yep.
That represents the three generations of my family in the business.
I love that, bro.
It's the very small details like that. And this is something playful. El Toro El Matador, check
Yeah.
them out. They're
But you
they're
know what?
having
In addition to the beautiful graphics, shout out to Larson Co.
yeah,
In addition to that, though, I see that you and I communicate a lot on collaborations. You're in town. What can we do? You're doing interviews, media, all that. So that's what I want our viewers to understand, that the product is just as is good, has to be good, but the branding has to be even better, man. Whether we like it or
yeah,
not, it's a reality. So in food and wine, take that tip. Let's go on to
for sure.
this.
Yes.
You know, the majority opportunity is also the intro beginner, because you have millions turning legal drinking age every minute. So give me one tip you give the intermediate or good enough for the beginner to select the wine.
The one tip for the beginners would be the great app called Vivino.
Okay.
It's an app called Vivino. So whether you just turned 21, you're in the restaurant business, and you just have a few tips to go enjoy yourself and go buy some wine, and you head to for the bang for the buck, you head to the grocery outlet
Yeah.
and just snap a picture of the label with Vivino, and it will show you reviews from actual people, not the companies. So that's
I
that's
like
one
that.
tip.
It's like
That's
a
one
it's
tip
like
for the new
it's,
consumers.
it's
Uh,
like a Yelp. It's like a Yelp for wine lovers.
yeah, exactly. And another thing as well, more to engage with others for the youth that does not have the means to sign up for an actual wine course or to join the Napa Valley Wine Academy.
Mm.
Now with restrictions getting a bit lifted in the springtime, or in some states, this is what I recommend to the youngsters out there just turning 21 and getting into wine. Make an effort to join organize a tasting group where you're meeting, whether it's twice a month or once a month. And say once a month, just pick Syrah, for example, where you're going to be buying Syrah from Australia, Washington, Oregon, California, the few that we see from Chile, the great ones, of course, from France. And
Mhm.
just pick one varietal and just, again, crack the bottles open. And you may not know the wine terms, but keep it very simple. Drink and buy what you like.
100%.
Plain and
100%.
simple.
Let's go into no, the wine group is awesome, and don't get caught up on the terms, because at the end of the day, if I want to teach you about cooking, I'm going to tell you, don't get caught up on the ingredients. Is it taste good? What inspired it? And then you go from there. So that's
Yeah.
awesome. You were featured in It's a Vibe cookbook and wine pairing with a lot of winemakers of color, and a sommelier, and obviously me. But talk to us about that experience. What did you learn from it in the experience making it?
Well, I think it was just more of what I learned from this is my exchange of food pairing ideas with yourself, and not living in the same state as far as the coordinating of you picking up wine from my family.
Hmm.
What I learned for that is the flexibility of your company as Comidazo in general, where I'm all the way here in Oregon. So thank you very much for your flexibility. I'm definitely learning that you are a go-getter and a reliable media company to connect with. And I look forward to the future of what events you'll be having down the road.
Yeah.
And eventually when I go down to California to share my craft with you.
Yeah, and what I got out of from you, again, I had seen that I hadn't seen. I'm sorry. What I got out of you was I didn't see the collab previously, and so it was an honor to meet you and your family and taste your wine. But also, we're business colleagues now. Meaning that we support each other. We got mutual goals. So I think that's what I got out of my relationship, because we pretty much met socially. Never in
Right.
person. But there's a connection, the tradition, and the future mutual goals. So, I want to thank you for that. I want to end it with this.
Yes.
People got to see the cool side that I see of Sam. 3 songs that you listen when you need that motivation. We'll end it with that. So give us 3 songs and who sings them.
Okay. 3 songs. One is No hay nada que perder. No hay nada que perder by the rock en español band Maná.
Good. Yep.
Another one would be Happy People by Maze and Frankie Beverly.
Mm-hmm.
Just, the old school homies listen to a lot of that music for me growing up. And if you listen to Maze and Frankie Beverly, a lot of love songs, but a lot of great positive songs as well.
Yes. Yes.
And the third one, I gotta say, man, right now for hip hop and wine gathering being such a trend, one right now for a motivator, when I'm actually writing down ideas right now, is Plug Walk
Mm,
You know the
haven't
hip
heard
hop
that one.
song, Plug Walk.
Who
Look it
sings it?
up. Let me. Do you mind? Do you mind a quick search on Plug Walk?
I'm doing it right now.
Okay, because
Oh,
I'm gonna turn it into Wine Life. Play that beat, and I'm actually heading into an actual studio in McMinnville, and the hip hop artist is gonna jump on for the second verse, but you'll see the Plug Walk, but we're gonna make it into Wine Life.
yeah, no, man, I love it. I love it. And that's what's cool, man. We got on this and we're talking, catching up, and your second brand I didn't know about, so that I can't wait to support that. And thanks for hanging with me, man. And I look forward to we're gonna do book launches, wine pairings. I think Jayton and I, we don't want to limit, wine pairings with tradition because we have that added benefit of being Latino, que tenemos las dos culturas.
Okay.
Que lo criamos aquí en los Estados Unidos, pero tenemos la tradición. And so that's opportunity and rewriting the narrative, bro. So, and man, I love your shirt. Everybody get out there and follow Para Wine Co. Say what's up to Sam on behalf of Comidazo, and I'll see you soon, brother.
Hey man, thanks for giving Leo, JP, and myself the time today. So we can have this gathering of Oregon brands.
That is correct. Shout out to them for helping Comidazo highlight the amazing talent in Portland, in Oregon in general. All right, buddy.
Adios.